CP the Tool Addict. Woo! Oh, let's just tell old Red Dog what's up there. Well, fellas, if you haven't guessed it yet, we're going to talk about banging on things today. Hammer time. And the reason why I'm talking about this video is because I ordered in a few new hammers, and we're going to talk about some oddball hammers. And I'm going to have 2 videos on this oddball hammer stuff, but we're just going to talk about dead blow hammer stuff and some specialty hammers right now. And Trusty Cook, Snap-on, you know, the whole 9 yards. Got just some soft blow hammers and the different handle types and whatnot like that, and kind of give you guys an idea of what you, if you've been thinking about buying, which hammer's right for you, I guess, in sense, and some deals on some hammers. So let's get into it. Well, as you can see here, we've got a plethora of hammers, and a lot of you are probably like, what in the Sam Biscuits is that, CP? That's made in the USA? Yeah, that's not a funky. This is actually called a Piston dead blow hammer, and we're going to get into that here in a little bit. And we've got this thing right here called the bossing mallet. We're going to get into that in a little bit. But let's start off with a little old school stuff here, first of all. Back in the day, a feller, before he started getting fancy hammers, just had himself a couple of 3 beaters right here, and we had the good old rubber mallet. And this was pretty much all CP had. And this wing weighs maybe a pound, a little bit less than a pound, but you can see she's taken some beatings in her life. In fact, this is the second one I've had, to be honest with you. It's just an SK, and this is what I got in my first toolkit. So I didn't start off with fancy hammers. In fact, the first fancy hammer, I got these 2 hammers. That's pretty much all I had, and it's probably about time to retire some of these. And these are just replaceable tip ones. And you get different heads for different deals for these, and replace the heads on them, and they just, you know, for some different surfaces and whatnot. It's probably time to change these up a little bit and get rid of them. But yeah, this has been what I pretty much used for 20 years or so, was these 2 hammers for a little while. And you know, then I upgraded, got myself another fancy hammer, and that was the old Mac Tools, which is a compo cast. And I've heard a lot of guys say, and you can easily read it right here, I think they call it Compothane. Compothane is what they call it, but it's compo cast, Compothane. Dead blow, it's got some shot filled in it. Worked good for me. This is just a 50 ounce. It's not a 50 ouncer. It's called a CH50 as a part number. I think this is a 24 ouncer, 25 ouncer. It's roughly about the same as this one, and this one's 32 ounce. So I'm thinking this one's a 24 ounce. I think it's a 24 ounce, just a beater like that, and that's what I got by with for the longest time. In fact, I don't know, I drug it down something all the way to the bottom of the tip, but it was a good deal. Now, the handles on these are not quite as, what I would say, forgiving. In fact, the wood handles on that handle are almost, in my opinion, a little bit nicer. But some guys do really like these because they do have a nice grip to them. I mean, they don't mess around. Like, they love these, and they stick by them tried and true. But in today's world, there's a couple of players that I like to say they stick out like a sore thumb as being some of the best. And that's the old Snap-on and the old Trusty Cook. And those are the 2 major players in the USA market. And they do a hot cast dead blow, and Snap-on has their proprietary makings that they make on them. Now, the one thing I say, the difference in making them, people will tell me from Snap-on that they don't keep, the way they make their hammers is different. And of course, this is not apples to apples because it's not the same size dead blow. But these are all shot filled. And I don't know if you can, these ones don't move. But the recoil on them, you see, when you hit, they don't bounce. When they hit a solid area, I should say. So when you're striking something, they strike the surface and they don't rebound. No vibration in the handles. But the big difference is, a lot of people say, is the handles on them. Some people are just advocates of the Snap-ons, and they love them. You know, and me personally, I like them both, and that's why I have a variety of them, because I don't have a hammer in the same size, in the same category. This is my big beater. This is my little Thor right here. And then I have the big guy up on the wall, up there, hanging up. But this is, what is this one, 50 ounce? These are USA made, the Trusty cooks. And this is a 92.5. I got this on the SK Steals and Deals for a smoking deal. And this thing is just a bad mamma jammer. But I do like the handles on the Trusty cook. Some people don't like them, but I like that the ending on there because it holds my hand on. You can really swing on it and know that you're not going to let that thing... She's not going to fly out of your hand, is what I'm saying. You know, like you're giving her the beans, and she's not going to let that grip. Unless you let your grip up too bitch, where it's going to, you know, slide past her. But for the most part, it's not going to slide past her. You know, a guy can hold on to that the whole way. She's a 5-pound hammer, I do believe. But I do enjoy this one because it gets the job done. So, that leads us into our specialty hammers. And we're going to talk more about these in another video. Sorry, I got a case of the sneezes there. This is a bossing hammer. Now, what this is really made for, and I'm going to kind of pretend this is a bead bag. What I mean by that is sand filled. And what you do is for shaping metal. And you would use this to shape. This is a 3-pounder. It's a little bit much. I honestly wished I wouldn't have got this one so big. But the reason I bought these hammers, these two hammers, is because they were through a company that is like they must be like a liquidation. And I can show you, I got the box. It literally says Trusty Cook on it, upside down. Of course I do it the wrong way. But yeah, it says... That's because you can't see it. But it says Trusty Cook on the box. This was through a company. I will put a link to the description. They do have a few imperfections hammers. And I'll show you the imperfection on these. So in case you're wondering. These are Blem hammers that I got. And the discoloration is a little bit different. It's got a few imperfections down here. But nothing to be that big a deal. I mean, the hammer's made for beating. I think it'll be fine for me. And then the dead blow, or the piston dead blow hammer was really pretty good. It's a little bit light down here in the handle, but it had just got a dimple right here in the end. Just got a divot right there in the end of it. So, and then you'll ask yourself, well, CP, back to this one anyways. This one's made for forming metal. And you get a bag and you kind of just beat it. And I'm not intentionally trying to do some metal forming right away. And maybe down in the future or something. There's a lot of different hammers out there, guys. And, you know, at CP the Tool Addict here, we want to have every tool we can get our hands on. I'm not waiting for people to send me free tools. I'm trying to buy everything. And that's what this channel is derived around me doing that. So I spend my money and don't sit around waiting for people to send me stuff in order for me to make content. I make it happen, Captain. That's what we're doing. Last thing, I've wanted this hammer for a long time. And if you notice, there's a variety of colors that I've sent out here. And Trusty Cook, by no means, does not make... They make hammers for a lot of companies. Cornwell, Matco, SK, as you've seen in there. And they're all the same. And they're quite progressive in making hammers for a ton of companies. So it's not odd to see... different color variations only available through certain companies. Eastwood and Cornwell, I think, are the only two that sell blue. Matco has green and orange. I can't think offhand. I said Eastwood. SK's green. I think most of the SKs, they might have red too, SK. So there's red, green, blue, orange. And I think JD Tico has those available too if you want to get some of those. But the reason why I wanted this, and a lot of people will say, well, this is dumb, CP. You don't need a piston hammer. You just stick the handle of your wooden hammer down the piston. And I've already heard this like 3 times when I showed people. Stick the handle of the piston down there and you pop your piston down. Or some guys say they compress rings and they never used them. But when you're doing motorcycles sometimes and whatnot, these are nice. And also, I thought this would get handy for doing some odd stuff. With the way cars are now in some tight spots, you can literally get this in there and do some tapping around a corner if you needed to. They come in handy outside of doing just a piston dead blow hammer. So, yeah, very funky, very different hammer. Yeah, look at that snout on it. It's got a long oblong snout. Gives you an extra 6 inches, boys. And it ain't nothing wrong with having a little extra 6 inches. This is a 32 ouncer too, by the way. I believe is what it is. 32. 32, would you tell me? I don't know. I think it's like 32 ounce, but it's perfect. This is a hammer I've always wanted for a long time. I got those for $60, I think, for those. 50 bucks. This one was on sale for $19, and the Bossing hammer was on sale for 30 bucks. Half off, basically, the price of these things. I wasn't going to pass it up, so I wanted to get these. So anyways, guys, I know I probably went long on the tooth on a lot of things there, but I definitely want to talk about them. Trusty Cook is definitely a top tier brand for your hammer choices out there, and they're definitely awesome. The handles are a little bit different, but I think they're every bit as good as the snap-on ones, to be honest with you. I like if you look at the curvature of them, I think they got good grip on them, feel really good in the hand. I hate that terminology. It's like overused in reviewing, so forgive me if I kind of cringe a little bit on that, but definitely a nice little hammer to have. And for more than just a piston hammer, you might use it for something else you need, and it's good to have a hammer to tap on those situations where you might need them. Anyways, guys, appreciate you watching. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, ring that bell. Remember, keep your hands dirty and your money clean. Keep your tools dirty and your money clean too. Thanks for watching.